What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and we got some major news out of the great state of Arizona. So as many of you know, in the great state of Arizona, there will be a critical Senate election in 2024. And as many of you also know, incumbent Senator Kyrsten Sinema, former Democrat, flipped and became an independent, caucusing with the Democrats in the state of Arizona. Now, there are still some talks about will Sinema actually run for re-election? Who knows? But that's not what we're discussing today. The major news came from the Democrat side. Guys, Ruben Gallego has announced his candidacy to hopefully, in his opinion, replace Kyrsten Sinema. Now, this I could see as great news for Republicans. Think about this for a second. Ruben Gallego is one of the most extreme Democrats in the House of Representatives. Look, Arizona, it has been trending Democrat, but it's one of those states, you can look historically, they don't like progressives. They may have some problems with Trumpism and stuff like that, but they do not like open progressives. There's a lot of states like that, sure, it's trending Democrat, but if there's a progressive on the ballot, yeah, it doesn't usually end well. Now, many people are going to say, oh, well, look at Pennsylvania. Fetterman won. Arizona and Pennsylvania are two completely different states. Guys, Pennsylvania is a working class state that still has a lot of blue-collar Dems that are voting Democrat down ballot. Plus, Dr. Oz, his problem was he surged way too late. So these are completely two different states. And we got to discuss why I believe this is probably a victory for Republicans if Kyrsten Sinema does run and Ruben Gallego is on the ballot. Now, before I forget, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and you guys know what's about to happen. Join the channel today. Guys, I've been promoting this for a little bit now, but joining the channel helps support the daily content I know we all love. And if you want to help continue supporting that daily content, that's the best way to do it. Just for $3 a month, upwards of $10 a month, you can join the channel, get exclusive information, exclusive polling, etc. So I recommend you join the channel just for $3 a month. Alright, everybody, it's time we discuss Arizona because we have our first major announcement. Gallego will be running for the Senate seat. And like I said, this is not a state like Pennsylvania. Arizona has a lot of the more establishment voters. They would rather vote in many situations for the Republican if it's an open progressive. History says that. Doug Ducey won by a lot because he went against an open progressive. That's the state of Arizona in a nutshell. They kind of care more about optics and all that other stuff than policy when you really look at it. So yeah, this Ruben Gallego candidate who, mind you, I understand that a lot of the Fetterman campaign joined his campaign. These are two different states. Like I said, Pennsylvania has a bigger blue-collar base than the state of Arizona. Arizona, way more suburban. Plus, Fetterman went against Dr. Oz, who, you know me, I like Oz. He was our best shot. But realistically, he was not able to appeal to the blue-collar voter. Arizona, you have a blue-collar base, but it's not enough for a progressive to really just run on carrying working-class voters. That's the problem that Ruben Gallego has. Now, let's look at a bit of history. And guys, we have a major breakthrough. New graphics. Look at these brand new graphics for past election results. I like these graphics. They're pleasing on the eyes. And I wanted to change up a little bit because this is kind of becoming a bigger segment on this channel discussing past election results for a certain state. So Arizona since around 2000 to 2016 was kind of seen as this Republican stronghold. In the last couple of cycles, we've seen that. 2008, John McCain won by quite a bit. Now, this has many factors to it, but I think this has more to do with the fact that he was a senator there, obviously, but also back then you didn't have so many implants moving to the great state of Arizona. Also, this is another theory that I've always had about the state of Arizona. Like I said earlier, they care more about optics and if they like you or not. There are a lot of voters in Arizona that hated Obama. You want my evidence? So Obama in 2008 got around 44.9% of the vote in the great state. All right, so that's pretty bad. Look at 2012. It went down. Despite, and I understand the national popular vote got closer, the state also got closer. Yet Obama went down percentage-wise. So what does that tell you? Well, I think this is more of an indication that Obama was not the best candidate for the state of Arizona. You could even go back further. Kerry, and I think, Kerry did a couple points better, I believe. Gore did a couple points better. I think Obama was just a bad fit for the state of Arizona, while Republicans, they picked candidates who were better fits for the state. That's a double whammy. And that explains why the state voted 13 points to the right of the country in 2012 and 15 in 2008. Then you go to 2016. That's where the big shift happened. Trump, he got around 48% of the vote. Hillary Clinton, 44.6%. Now, the state still voted 5.5 points to the right of the country, but you can obviously tell there was a shift that happened. But even then, from 2008 to 2012, it shifted 2 or 3 points Republican or Democrat. So this shift was happening beforehand. Just Trump kind of, accelerated it. I mean, he still won the state by 3.5 points. It voted to the right by 5.5 points compared to the rest of the country. But then you go to 2020, and Biden barely, by the skin of his teeth, quote-unquote, won the state of Arizona. Now, there's many question marks about that. I have my own opinions, but any other case, this seat still voted to the right of the country by 5 or so points. Biden, he got 49.4%. Still didn't crack 50%. Republicans, or Democrats, I should say, outside of a couple Senate seats and one governorship, they haven't cracked 50% in Arizona at a presidential level since, God, when was it? 80s? Or not even 80s, maybe 60s? Can somebody actually Google that? When was the last time a Democrat broke 50% Arizona? There's more indication to say that Democrats, they've been carried by two things. One, Trump wasn't the best fit for the state. Duh. Number two, Biden, for his faults, he was able to, I guess, appeal better to these suburban voters in the state of Arizona. Because Obama, he did kind of have a toxic surrounding with him with some of these voters in Arizona. I mean, you can look at it. Obama did worse in Arizona in 2012 than he did in 2020 or 2008. He went down by 0.5%. So yeah, what does that tell you about Arizona? They care more about optics and those other crap. It's stupid, but it's true that the voters in the state care more about optics. And that's why, in my opinion, if Republicans run a piece of wet cardboard, if Ruben Gallego's on the ballot, he's openly progressive, that alone hurts him. But with Kyrsten Sinema also potentially running, you split the vote with the more establishment, moderate Democrat voters. She's not going to pick off a substantial amount of Republicans. That's just delusional. She'll pick off some, but I doubt many of them even voted Republican in the past 5 or 6 years. But either way, that's it. If Republicans run somebody halfway decent, somebody with a brain, they're going to win that Senate seat if those two are on the ballot, Gallego and Sinema. It's a double whammy. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. This is major news out of the state of Arizona. We're looking pretty good. Run somebody good, get him the funding properly, and you're going to beat this clown into oblivion. Because progressives, historically, have not done good in Arizona, barring unique circumstances. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.